I think it's fair to say that Chinese culture has had a big impact upon the development of Taiwanese culture, and nowhere is that more obvious than its food. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at 5 popular Taiwanese foods that can actually trace their origins back to China, but Taiwanese restaurants and Taiwanese chefs improve the flavor, recipes, and soul of these foods to make them distinctly Taiwanese. And of course, a sensitive topic such as food is no doubt going to spark some controversy in the comment section, so have your say down below, and remember, be nice, don't be rude. But as for now, first on the list of foods that can trace their origins back to China is the Taiwanese staple beef noodle soup. And yes, I know this video is gonna spark lots of controversy in the comment section, but we are not here to talk about politics. We are here to talk about foods and how Taiwanese restaurants and Taiwanese chefs have taken those basic original Chinese foods and made them 10 times better. Starting, as I said, with Taiwanese beef noodle soup. This dish can be traced back to Sichuan's red braised Hong Sao beef noodle soup, which was actually brought to Taiwan in 1949 when a large influx made their way across the Taiwan Strait. As I said, no politics here, just food. And the way the Taiwanese chefs and Taiwanese restaurants have made this dish much better is by perfecting the balance between the savory, spicy, and fragrant broth, the use of star anise, tomato, soy sauce, and sometimes even sugar to sweeten it up a little bit, creates a much more complex taste than you would have found back in China. The version I'm eating now is known as Hong Sao Red Braised Mian, and ever since it was brought across the Taiwan Strait over 75 years ago, Taiwan has perfected and modified and developed the dish to include different regional variations, whether it's Hong Sao Mian, Qingdu Mian, or Fang Chia tomato Mian. The simple level of variety of beef noodle soup that is on offer in Taiwan makes it distinctly Taiwanese. The version I've got here is a Hong Sao Mian, but it's got like a strong tomato base. But just look at that juicy, fatty, tender looking big chunk of beef. It literally melts in your mouth. Oh my God, so good. And another aspect of the dish that was developed further and perfected more in Taiwan is the noodle, the texture of the noodles. There are so many different options of noodles here in Taiwan when you order your beef noodle soup. The version of noodle I've got here is pretty much a standard huang mian, a normal basic noodle, but in Taiwan there are dozens of different options of noodles, whether you like it thick, thin, long, short, chewy, or soft. The noodle options in Taiwan when it comes to beef noodle soup are almost endless. This is so good, and it's definitely understandable why I choose it as one of my favorite Taiwanese foods when people ask me what I like to eat here. Perfect. And another important part of the beef noodle dish is the suantai, the sauerkraut. And to be honest, I'm not sure whether this originated in China or Taiwan. All I know is it's a very important part of the dish, and as well as adding a bit of sourness, a bit of tang, also offers a little bit of crunch and texture to those that soft, tender meat and QQ noodles. Yes, beef noodle soup without suantai is like what? Like Alan without Prozzy, just not right. So that's first on the list of Taiwanese famous delicacies that may or may not have had their origins back in China. Anyway, get these beef noodles finished, and then it's on to dish number 2, which is going to be Xiaolongbao. Soup, dumplings, as they are otherwise known, and as you can no doubt see, this bamboo basket filled with 8 hot, steaming Xiaolongbao is looking absolutely delicious. Piping hot, which is the best way to eat them, although it's probably best to wait a couple of minutes as these have come fresh off the steamer, which gives me a couple of minutes to explain to you where they come from in China. They're actually from the Jiangnan province around Shanghai, Suzhou, but as this video is all about, Taiwanese people have perfected the Xiaolongbao, and these ones look absolutely delicious. I'm not sure if the hot steam pouring out of it is clear on camera, but a little bit of soy sauce, vinegar, and ginger, a spoon to collect any drippage, and hopefully this one has cooled down enough that it's not going to scald my mouth. Oh my God, wow, absolutely perfect. Of course, there is a world famous Taiwanese restaurant that's got locations all over the world known as Din Tai Fung, and they are of course famous for their Xiaolongbao, but I prefer the more local approach, the more cheaper approach. I think Din Tai Fung is a little overpriced, maybe better for when I've got a date to impress, but all over the city, all over the country, you can find amazing Xiaolongbao made by Taiwanese people, perfected by Taiwanese people. And if you're wondering exactly how Taiwanese perfected the Xiaolongbao, is they make it with a slightly more lighter, delicate skin. It's not so doughy, so the focus is less on the dough and more on the delicious, fatty, soupy pork inside. Another way that Taiwanese people have perfected the Xiaolongbao is by introducing more flavors and more variety of fillings. The ones I'm eating today is a traditional pork-filled Xiaolongbao, but you can get as many things as crab roe, truffle, and even some Sichuan-style spicy Xiaolongbao. I'm pretty happy with my basic pork original style. But I simply couldn't imagine a Xiaolongbao without that tangy, acidic vinegar balanced with that sharp spice of the ginger. Now, while this video is all about introducing delicious, yummy foods that have been perfected in Taiwan, let me take a second to introduce something to you that may be a little bit of a surprise to you, but give me a couple of minutes to explain and I'll tell you exactly why I am super excited to be attending the Shen Yun Performing Arts event in Kaohsiung on April 14th to April 16th. Reviving over 5,000 years of Chinese culture in the form of art, Shen Yun is something that my mum has dreamed of attending, dreamed of watching ever since they started showing adverts on British TV that we would watch together when I was visiting during the holidays. But unfortunately, we never had the chance to go together. So when I heard that Shen Yun were coming to Taiwan and they got in touch with me and offered me the chance to go, I jumped at the chance to accept their invitation, go and watch the performance, and take some memorable photos for my mum to enjoy from afar. Apparently there are 8 performance troupes with over 500 world-class artists taking part. So just like I'm enjoying some of the culinary imports from Chinese culture here in Taiwan, I am super excited to be attending this cultural performance that combines gorgeous costumes, exquisite digital backgrounds, and stunning stage effects such as their dynamic sky curtain. And with new shows being planned every year, I'm excited to see what they have planned for this year. As a creator slash entertainer, let's say, I can totally understand just how hard it is for these people to perform in public and be criticized either positively or negatively for what we do. So when I heard a world-class performing arts event was coming to Taiwan and they were offering me the chance to go, I jumped at the chance and hope that you guys can take advantage of the link in the description down below. Go get yourself some tickets, and who knows, maybe you'll even see me there watching this awesome world-class performing event. Anyway, I think that's enough about Shen Yun. Time to get to food number 3, which again is going to be a little bit controversial because next food I'm going to be eating is a delicious bowl of Luroufan. And yes, of course, this one is going to score very highly on the controversy scale. Just like the beef noodles, I think is going to cause people to be angry. I think the Xiaolongbao is more acceptable or more accepted as a dish that originated in China. Luroufan is 100% Taiwanese, but it does have links back to China where they do also have braised pork dishes on rice. But the research that I conducted showed that Taiwan made this dish better by using more finely chopped mincemeat, allowing the flavor, the surface area of the meat is larger in your mouth, so it allows more flavor to be absorbed by the tongue. It's all very scientific and very detailed, but the point is Taiwanese Luroufan is hands down one of the best dishes that you can eat in this country, and this one at $58 for a big bowl is the all-important CP zi Senda Hengao. Really can't beat a good bowl of Taiwanese Luroufan, regardless of where the dish had its origins. I am gonna get crucified in this video. Apparently, another way that Taiwanese Luroufan has been perfected more than some other countries' Luroufan is that it has a more balanced flavor, combining the sweet, the salty, the aromatic 5-spice powder, and make the perfect combination of flavors just so that the dish is absolutely unbeatable. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Luroufan. You get some Taiwanese people that don't like chou tofu or don't like bubble milk tea, but Luroufan is something that I think almost everybody in Taiwan likes. In fact, if you're one of the people that doesn't like Luroufan, comment down below and let me know why. And one final way that Taiwanese people have perfected the dish of Luroufan is by adding different toppings on the top. This one is a simple one. I think it's just a little simple pickle, like a crunchy pickle. Oh, it's a sweet potato, pickled sweet potato. Wow, perfect. But yeah, Taiwanese restaurants will often add different toppings for a bit of variety, whether that's a braised egg, maybe some pickled vegetables as this one has, or indeed sometimes they do like a fried onions or fried shallots, which adds a little bit of extra crunch to balance with the soft, gooey nature of the melt in the mouth pork. But yes, that's dish number 3. Let's get to the next restaurant where I'm going to introduce dish number 4, which is going to be Tong Bing, also known as scallion pancakes, that originated from northern China, but here in Taiwan is known for its extra layers and crunch, where instead of just a chewy texture, Taiwanese versions have multiple layers, making them crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Not to mention the many flavors that are on offer here in Taiwan, offering cheese, bacon, pork floss, or even basil for extra flavor. But the original and probably one of the best is the Tong Bing Jia Dan. That is an absolutely perfect Tong Bing Jia Dan, Taiwanese style. But there is one more item that I've got on my list. And for the 5th and final item in my list of culinary imports from China into Taiwan that Taiwan made better, we are going big. We are going after Taiwanese bubble milk tea. Now wait, before you get your knickers in a twist and start hammering away at that keyboard, claiming how dare I attack Taiwan's most famous cultural export. Of course, what I'm saying is that milk tea had its origins in China. And my research tells me that, of course, tea has been drunk in China for thousands of years, and the addition of milk into tea can actually be traced back to the Yunnan province in southern China. And I also read in one article that the earliest form of milk tea was created by the Lahu people from the Yunnan province, where they were actually adding buffalo milk into their black tea to create the first ever milk tea. So yes, I admit I am being a little bit cheeky by adding bubble milk tea into this list. Of course, bubble milk tea was invented in Taiwan in the 1980s, and there's an argument as to whether it was invented by the Hanlin Tea House of Tainan, or in fact here at Chun Shui Tang in the 1980s. Chun Shui Tang's story is that its founder Liu Hanjie was experimenting with milk tea being served cold after he had experienced it in Japan. And then in 1988, one of their product managers, Lin Xiaohui, playfully added the tapioca balls from her dessert into her milk tea during a meeting, and the rest is history. The Hanlin Tea Room, on the other hand, have a different story, with their owner, Du Tonghe, claiming that he saw white tapioca balls in a market and decided to add them into his milk tea. Either way, whichever story is true, it is 100% never in doubt that bubble milk tea had its origins in Taiwan. But of course, just like British milk tea that me and my family like to drink, the origins of milk tea can be traced back to China. I'm sure that whatever I say regarding this point, there are going to be haters in the comment section, absolutely furious that I included bubble milk tea in a list of Chinese imports into Taiwan. But as a YouTuber, a little bit of controversy goes a long way. As for now, time for me to get this bubble milk tea finished, then we can get outside, wrap the video up. Another perfect bubble milk tea to add to the many hundreds that I've no doubt drank over my 17 years in Taiwan. So there you have it, my list of 5 truly iconic Taiwanese foods that had their origins back in China. Whatever you think of this video, whatever you think of my opinions, have your say in the comment section down below. And of course, while you're down below, go check out that link in the description to get your tickets to the Shen Yun Performing Arts event in Kaohsiung, April 14th to April 16th. And who knows, you might even see me there eating some beef noodles and drinking a Taiwanese bubble milk tea. But as for now, time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace. Bye.